guys, Donnell with Donnell's Stitchery here today with another great tutorial for you guys. So this is January 6th of 2025, and today is my week 1 of my Block of the Week 2025 series. And just for anyone that does not know, as I work on these blocks each week, these blocks are going to be wound up being 12 inches by 12 inches as the unfinished block size. And that way then I'll put them all together as I get bunches of 9 of them and everything. So that way there'll be a great crib size blanket. And then once I get, so as I get to like week 9, after I get done with that block, I'm going to put those first 9 together as 3 by 3 rows of 3. Into a quilt top for a baby quilt, and that way there, once I have a bunch of them up together, then I can be able to get them all donated to local places and everything by me, whether it be in the Ronald McDonald House in Detroit or the local police department here in Roseville or fire department. And that is at Roseville, Michigan, not California. So the fabrics that we are going to be working with today is this gorgeous fabric right here. This is my fabric letter C. And this one here, I'll go ahead and show you. We are going to cut into a 7-inch, we're going to cut 2 of these into a 7-inch square. And then we're going to subcut, and then we're going to cut them in half. And we're going to label that letter C. Next up, we have, let me move that one out of the way. Then we have this beautiful fabric here. And these are a bunch of little adorable honeybees. There you go. You can be able to get a bit better view there. And these are gorgeous little honeybees with a background of green. And that we're going to cut at 6 1/4 inches. We're going to cut one of these, one 6 1/4 inch square. And then we're going to cut these in diagonally. Okay, so we're going to cut these diagonally into quarters. So you're going to cut going one direction and then cut the other direction. And then we're going to do the same to letter A. Or letter B. So that was, the green was letter A. So B, we're going to do the same, which is cut 6 1/4 inch square and then cut it diagonally. A and B, you only need 1 square. C, you need 2 squares, because C, we're just cutting in half. A and B, we're cutting in quarters. And all this information will be down in the description box below. So in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and get this laid out for you. And so that way there, so what our block is going to look like is like this right here. We're going to have we're going to have a short end of A and B touching each other. And then we're going to sew a C onto it. And we're going to sew this into a patch, which is going to create a pinwheel. Actually, 2 pinwheels going about. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to take A and B and we're going to sew these together by trying putting them 2 of the short sides together. And we want the tip, the pointy tip here of each triangle to be touching in the center here. So I'm going to go ahead and take this off of my letters A and B. And we're going to bring this over here and we are going to chain piece these together by going like this right here and sewing them. What I like to do when I'm sewing pieces like this, to make it easier on myself, I don't start up here at the point doing a 1/4 inch seam, because that takes a chance of dragging this tip here down to my sewing machine. I bring it up this way and I start up at a nice straight side, and I do that with all of them. So let me go ahead and get this taken care of, and I will be right back with you guys. And in the meantime, we can sit here and chat and all, because this is only going to take me a moment to do. Set my 1/4 inch seam. And we're going to hit the wrong button, which is going to trigger the thing to think I wanted to cut the thread, which I did not. There we go. So we're just going to get all of these taken care of really quickly. And then I will show you this as well as getting my other pieces all done up. Show you the next step in just a moment. If there's any quilt blocks that you guys would like to see a tutorial done up on, please do not hesitate to put it down in the description box below so that way there I can add it to the list. As of right now, we have the double pinwheel, which is this one here. Next up, we have the snail trail for week 2, and then the card trick. And then after that, we have the double wide Dresden. I got to do a little bit of research on that one first because I've never done a Dresden, which is the reason why I made that one last for week 4, because that way there gives me plenty of time to do some research on that one and test it out a few times so that way there I made sure I know what it is that I am doing. Because I don't like showing you guys something unless I know what it is that I'm doing. So that way there, I actually make it look like if I actually know what I'm doing. It's kind of hard to try and teach somebody if you don't know. So what we are going to do now is I'm going to press this over to my seam over to, actually what we want to do is we want to press these seams open. Pinwheels, it's always best to press open. So just take it, I draw my fingernail right down the center here, open up the seams, and I draw my fingernail right down the center, and then hit it with a little bit of heat. And if you would like to take even the next step, what you could do is, where'd it go? There it is. If you have the Acorn Easy Press Pen, where's my camera? There you are. If you got the Acorn Easy Press Pen or any type of like little device like this, you could use it with like Best Press or whatever you want inside of it. It's just like a little bit of a starch right down the center right there. And this is something that's good even on pre-cuts because you're only hitting that seam, you're not hitting the rest of it. And then just clip off these dog ears. And then you got a nice flat piece right here. So then what you're going to do, well, let me go ahead and get the rest of these taken care of really quickly. So I only got 4 more to do. And I'll go ahead. And actually, before you impress it, if you come over here with like your snips and you just cut right here at the tip of that triangle, the angle like that right there, that'll take care of your dog ears before you even cut it open or press it open. And yeah, mine's just going on the floor. I'm about to sweep my floor. So I'm just tossing the floor for now. Figure I'll get it when I sweep. Which would be right after this show. Right after my video. So I give a nice little press with my finger. And then I put the little solution on here. I think my pen is getting low. It's about time to refill my pen and my misting bottle. I have been, ever since this was gifted to me, I have been using this like crazy, guys. This stuff is so good, especially whenever you got big bulky seams or just stubborn seams that don't want to lay flat. This stuff is so good. Like, I don't understand why I was so scared to use it before. But I'm so glad I got past that. Because since it was gifted to me, I'm like, okay. I'm like, what better way to show off a product than using it for my first time on a video for you guys. And doing pinwheels, you definitely want the pieces to lay flat. And if you are sending your quilts in for long arm quilting, you definitely want flat seams. So, which means you want pinwheels, you always want to try to press them open. I know it's easier to match up your seams if you press if you press one to the right and one to the left, or them both to the dark side. However, if you're sending them to long armor, let me just tell you right now, it is massively stressful for them and painful on their machines and their needles if you do not press open on like pinwheels and such. I did not know all this, and Itron has sent a pinwheel over to a fellow long armor, and she she explained to me the difference. So what we're going to do now is we're going to try and create this layout. And this is going to be a little bit slightly larger, as you can see, than what this here is. And that's okay, because that gives us room to trim down. So what you're going to do is you're going to try and lay this just like that. You could even match it up here and then just trim this off when you're done. Because, I mean, you see, that's a lot of waste there. But I'm giving you the measurements that was in the pattern I have. Or not in the pattern, but in the way I created it in my EQ8. I'm just giving you the measurements that it gave me. Granted, the one said like, I think it was like the large one to be cut at like an eighth. So I gave you the measurement of 7 because it was like 7 and an eighth. And I gave you a measurement of 7 or something of that sort. Let's see here. Yeah, it said cut at 6 and an eighth. And I gave you the measurement, or 6 and 7/8, and I gave you the measurement of 7. I just rounded up an eighth of an inch. So, I mean, it's not that huge of a difference of what I give you from what was in the pattern. I don't know what they're thinking. But we are going to go ahead and put all of these over here together. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lay them right here. And all I'm doing is I am laying them where they're like this right here. And I'm taking it and just sewing right down here. I'm going to have to rethink this sometimes because that's a lot of waste in my opinion. I mean, let's see here. That is a whole like inch there, larger than what it probably needed to be. That probably could have been like a 6-inch square, but then I've been right at the border, maybe 6.5. So you can do it however it is that you want. I don't mind having a little bit of that waste because it gives me a little bit of a wiggle room if I messed up or if the measurements were not correct. So it is what it is. So based upon how you want and everything, but these are going to wind up being supposed to be 12-inch blocks when I'm done. So we'll see how this goes because I have not done one yet of this. Okay, so now I have chain pieced all 4 of these, and what I'm going to do now is I'm trimming these apart. Cutting off so we're going to start off with cutting off our tips here. I love doing this little trick because for one, it gets the dog ears off so I don't have to mess with it after I've already opened it up and everything. So this makes my life a little bit easier. I just use my little pair of snips I have right by my machine. And then what we're going to do is we're going to press this open because this is all going to wind up being a pinwheel as well. But before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and trim this off. And for now, I'm just going to use my pair of scissors. Lay this down here so that way they're laying right up against each other. Or you could take it over to your cutting mat. I just don't feel like dragging out my cutting mat to do this on camera. So you could drag it over to your cutting mat so that way they're the same size. And you get nice straight edges. Me, I'm just going to do it this way because, you know, I'm not perfect. My work is not perfect, but it's enough to make me happy. Perfection is overrated. Just saying. I love things that look perfect, but at the same time, I also love things that look homemade. And I don't stress if it's not 100% perfect because I'm human. I'm not perfect. So what we're going to do now is we're going to open this up and I'm going to lay these down nice and flat. And I'm going to finger press my seams open. There we go. Now I got some juice coming out. I'm like, hello, where are you? And we just need to snip this off here at the edge, these two little angles, and we'll come up with this beautiful piece right here, which I'll show you what to do in just a few moments. I just got to finish pressing this, so that way there we can get our block laid out. Because of course we want everything to be nice and pretty. And if you guys hear a dog barking or anything like that, sounds like Sophie's out there being a naughty little girl. Super fussy. She's been really needy today. And Sophie is my female geriatric pit bull. And she's been a little on the fussy side today. Fussy as in like super needy. Not anything bad. And if you want to prevent from having to deal with all those dog ears, you can just go ahead and trim those right off right now. I did not realize I did not get that end. Sorry for some of the silence and everything. Just trying to get this pressed so that way there I can show you guys the next step, which is the final step, which I'm excited about. Because essentially now we're just going to sew a 4-patch. I'm going to show you how this guy, I'm going to show you guys how this gets laid out because this is really cool. And I hope you all enjoy these tutorials I do for you and everything. Please let me know in the comment section how you are going to, what all blogs you would like to see. I can't really ask how you're going to like this and all, or how you like this series because this is the first one. So let me know, which quilt block would you like for me to show you? And don't forget, Wednesdays I do foundation paper piece gnome blocks over on my channel. And in the description box below, you'll be able to find the link of where I get those patterns from. I've already gotten the creators approval for me to do them on my channel. So what we're going to do is we're going to lay the first one like this. And then we're going to try and take it to where it is, so it's like this right here. We're going to flip it like that. And then we're going to try and take it like that. And we're going to flip it again. So then we have it like this right here. And we're going to flip it again. Oops. So if it's like this, we're going to flip it one turn and move it over to the next spot. That way there we have the white, the 2/4 squares, triangles. The white, the small triangles. White, small triangles. White, small triangles. That's the little thing I want you guys to remember. Because you got the large pinwheel, and then you got the small pinwheels. So that way there you got this little yellow. I see I got this one here put on backwards, but that's okay. You guys know what I mean. This one should have been swapped around whenever I put it together with this. But I had the wrong orientation on that one. That was my bad. So these two should have actually been swapped. That should have been yellow. That should have been green. I had them laid down wrong. But I am not going to correct it now. And now you guys see, I'm only human. I make boo-boos too. But this is a boo-boo I can live with. It's not going to bother me and everything. It'll be like a little I Spy type of block. Because it's going to be like, okay, can you find the one piece that I have messed up on? And if I wouldn't have noticed it and pinpointed it out right now, I would have left this little I Spy for you guys in here. But that's okay. So now I'm just going to take this, I'm going to sew it together like a 4-patch. I don't know why that looks like if it's like totally off, but it'll be okay. I'm just going to trim up my strings. And I'm going to press this open. Actually, I'm going to cut off the little excess here. I don't know why this one piece wound up being so much larger than the others, but that is okay. Ooh, it just fits this up. So this one here, this block here is going to have a few boo-boos in it. That's okay. I'm not bothered by it one bit. Today is just a boo-boo kind of day for me, and that's okay. Because some days we just have those really rough days. Oops, sorry guys, didn't mean to knock y'all around. Getting back over here. Because, you know, some days we just have those days where we have a little bit more problems on sewing straight or something like that than normal. And even us content creators, we are just human. And what I like to say is it's all good in the hood. And I love saying that because, for one, I'm just north of Detroit, so as you see here, we're getting a lot of seams building up over here. And that's okay because we try and use our acorn pin. So now we're going to try and lay that there, and we're going to lay Goes this way. Got to make sure you got the points all meeting up in the same area and all. So we got that there. We're going to try and lay it so that way there, these here match up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to lay it here. I'm going to pull this back to make sure, and I'm going to get that lined up just beautifully. Because I do see here that my pieces are a little bit off, and that is okay. Man, I got to check my measurements better next time before I do this. So I'm going to clip right there just to make sure I keep my pieces together in the center where they need to meet up at. Try to keep things meeting up as much as I possibly can. Because with the rest of it, the outside pieces, we can just trim right down. I'm just going to press these open really quick. For whatever reason, it's having a fussy of a time to come out of the pen tonight. I wonder if it's getting too low or something. A little bit more here in the center. And more out here on the edge. Just where it's being a little extra stubborn. Alrighty, so other than trimming up, then we have a beautiful block here. So I'll square this up, but I'm going to wait until, actually I'll go ahead and get this squared up. Let me unplug my iron so I can get that out of the way. And I just set my iron right down there. I'm going to get this squared up so you guys can be able to see exactly how big this is. This is a nice little rotating mat here for me. I absolutely love this thing. So according to the measurements, this is supposed to be a 12-inch block. Based on what? And it wound up being a 10-inch. So I don't know where I went wrong on the measurements. This wound up being a 10-inch. So I'm going to wind up having to redo this. Or make all my squares 10 inches. What I'll probably just do is just sash this one. It's kind of heartbreaking, but it is what it is. I don't know how I went so wrong on this one. But so, maybe I'll just do them all 10 inches instead of 12. But here is my beautiful 10-inch block. And I think overall it came out super cute. Let me double check by the mat. Yep, 10 inches. So we're going to do 10-inch blocks instead of 12. It is what it is. Or maybe I'll do some 10, maybe I'll do some 12. I don't know. We'll see. Who knows? If the rest come out 12, we'll just sash this one. You know, you never know what I'll wind up doing. But guys, this is the beautiful double pinwheel And just make sure when you put these two pieces here together that your yellow is over on this spot on the inner circle. So that way there it actually comes out correctly. And I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I may wind up redoing this one. Who knows? Call it like double pinwheel take 2. But in the meantime, I hope everybody has a wonderful, beautiful day. If you get out and about, make sure you smile because you never know whose day you might be able to change with the simple gesture of a smile. Thank you guys so much for coming and watching my channel. And I hope you like. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button and turn on that bell so that way that you get all your notifications when I'm going to go live or when I'm releasing a new video. Because it's going to be a fun month here in January. And please share it with your friends. Tell them to come subscribe to my channel and everything and check out my work, check out my stuff. Love to show you guys all the things I make. Because I got a lot of good plans for this channel this year. Talk to you later. Bye.